Now, think of the 1980s. New romantics were topping the charts, shoulder pads and perms were all the rage, and you could have a night out in Swansea's Cavalier Club. Well, more than 30 years after it closed down, the club's been rediscovered by workmen above an old department store, and amazingly, it is still largely intact, with a stocked bar and even cherries to put on your drinks. Our reporter Charanpreet Kera has taken a trip back in time.
Bring me back memories, Max.
A trip down memory lane back to the 80s, when the Cavalier Nightclub was in full swing and the band, by appointment, caught their first break.
We was just practicing in our friend's bedroom, and then to come out of there, and our first ever gig was in a nightclub. So what can you say? What can you say?
It was just so exciting. We was still a new band on the block, you know, just 17 years old at that point, roughly, and it was just exciting to get out and play in a nightclub that was very lively.
From the stone decor to the concrete trees, much of the club remains intact, despite closing more than 30 years ago.
When you smell something, you see something, and it brings back memories straight away. It's unbelievable. There's a bottle that somebody brought in with them.
Yeah.
Save a few quid behind the bar. I knew it was small, but it seems a little bit smaller, I think.
And then we were smaller then, weren't we? But
yeah, smaller, and it's still, but it's got that very unique decor that it couldn't be anywhere else but the Cavalier.
Unique indeed, with its wacky architecture, vintage sound systems, and relics of the shops downstairs.
Yeah, but I remember running back here when the bottles were flying to get our guitars, when the other band was on.
For Louis and Muggs, it's a reminder of times gone by.
All the venues we used to play back in the 80s are gone. This is the last one that's surviving as it was back in the 80s. All the others have become pizza shops or burnt down or demolished. So this is the only one that looks almost the same as it did back in the 80s when you used to be here.
Walking through this space is a real journey through the ages. Look at this disco ball smashed up from the club's heyday, and over here, a bar menu, faggots and peas for £1.50. Then all these hangers, stored here by Miss Selfridge when they were operating downstairs. We don't actually know when the club closed, but it looks like it was shut up in a hurry. Take a look at this bar, still fully stocked, some of the bottles half empty. There's even a bunch of cherries to pop on top of your drink. And if you take a closer look at this lemonade bottle, the sell-by date is April 1988. That's when it's thought that closing time came for the Cavalier.
Now the space is getting a new lease of life. The building's been bought by Swansea Council to turn into a library and community hub, bringing a slice of the city's past into its future.